Number 1, using the equation y equals 4x minus 15. A, create an equation with the same y-intercept and different slope. So the first thing I want to do is identify what my slope is and what my y-intercept is. So my slope is, remember, the number that's next to that x. So my slope is going to be positive 4. And my y-intercept is going to be negative 15. Remember that this symbol follows that y-intercept. So for A, it says create an equation with the same y-intercept. So if it's the same y-intercept, I'm going to end up with negative 15. And different slope. Different slope means I can use any number that I want. So in this case, I'm going to go ahead and use 7. I'm going to put my input of x and my y. So remember that this slope can be any number that you choose. B, create an equation with the same y-intercept and opposite slope. So the same y-intercept is negative 15, but the opposite of positive 4 is negative 4. So I'll have negative 4x, and that equals y. So same y-intercept and opposite slope. C, create an equation with the same slope and different y-intercept. So for the same slope, my slope is 4, so I can start off with y equals 4x, and I could choose any number that I want. So in this case, I'm going to go ahead and choose positive 10. And remember that your y-intercept can be negative, positive, it's of your choosing. D, create an equation with the same slope and opposite y-intercept. So the same slope is positive 4, y equals 4x. The opposite of negative 15 is positive 15. So I'm going to go ahead and write that. Number 2, Bobby and Billy love to read. Bobby reads approximately 18 pages a day. Billy's reading log is shown below. A, who reads more quickly? Explain how you know. So according to this, 18 pages a day is going to be Bobby's rate. So that means he reads 18 a day. So another 18 the next day, 18 the next day, and we keep adding 18 every single time. Now for Billy's, it's in this table, and I'm noticing that there's a pattern. I can't tell with the 0, 0, but I can tell with the 2 and 30 that he's multiplying it by 15. Now I'm going to check to see if the pattern goes through the entire function table, and it actually does. So I can do 75 divided by 5 to get 15, 30 divided by 2 to get 15, 105 divided by 7 to get 15, 180 divided by 12 to get 15, and that's why I'm able to multiply everything. So it seems like Billy's reading log shows that he's reading 15 pages a day as opposed to Bobby's 18. So the question's who reads more quickly? It looks like Bobby. Bobby reads 18 per day, and Billy reads 15 per day, and that's how I know that Bobby reads quicker than Billy. They're asking you to create a graph for Bobby and Billy on the same grid, so be sure to label your axes. So this is going to be our number of days, and over here is going to be the pages read. So I can basically go by ones if I wanted to, but I think I'm going to run out of space looking at the number of pages right over here and over here, the number of days. So I'm going to go with ones here. And I don't have to graph everything because since I have a feeling it's linear, as long as I have 2 points, I can graph. The pages read, I'm actually probably going to start counting by tens to see if I could fit more in. So let's give that a try. That's pretty good. Get exactly 180 when I get to the top. Now it's better if you actually count out the lines before you write it. That way you don't make those mistakes. So if I'm looking at just Bobby, I'm going to go ahead and graph Bobby's in blue. So if he reads one day, he gets about 18 pages. So 2, if I'm adding another 18, he gets about 36. Then if I go to 36 plus 18, I get 54. So approximately right here. I'm going to do one more. So 54 plus the 18, I'm going to get 72. And of course you can multiply. That's just another way to do it. Now we have to decide, is it going to be a discrete line or continuous line? And in this case, it's probably going to be a continuous line, because yes, I can actually read a quarter of a page, half a page, 1/16 if I just read maybe a sentence or two, 1/32. So it actually works out for me. So I'm going to go ahead and draw a line to connect those points. And I am going to start at the origin, because if I don't have any days, then I don't read any stories or any pages. So that's Bobby's line right there. Now I have to go ahead and figure out Billy's line. So Billy's line is a little bit easier because they kind of gave us the table already. So I'm going to graph at 0, 0 for Billy. And then I have 230 right here. And then I have 575. So approximately right here. 7,105. So about right here. Remember, I'm estimating but doing the best I can to make it a line, knowing that it's a linear equation. 12 and 180 right here. And I'm going to go ahead and connect those points together. The best I can. So maybe something like that will work. So these points should be on the line. It's just because I'm estimating it was a little bit off. But looking at this graph, I can already tell that Bobby's line is steeper, so he's reading more than Billy is. So C, based upon your graph, who will reach 300 pages first, and how do you know? So I'm going to go with Bobby because, first of all, his rate is faster. If he's reading 18 pages a day, that means he'll get to 300 faster than Billy. So Bobby's rate for reading is faster. And the line for Bobby is steeper. So I can tell that he's going to reach 300 before Billy reaches 300 pages.